And then we'll go from there after that. If you have your lyrics assignment, if you'll pull out your lyrics, and we'll go over that. And also open up your book to 128 and 129. Hungry? Yeah. Make sure you eat. Okay. Does everybody have everything?
What page did you say?
128 and 129. Okay, you ready to start writing down the assignment? We'll get over the long-winded stuff first. Alright, chapter 7, please reread that by Friday, because she will go back over that with you. And the poems to read, and she'll go back over this with you. We'll read them in class, but she'll go back over them with you. And it's Richard Cory. The first one is by E.A. Robinson, and the second one is a song from Paul Simon. Hello, how are you? Okay, we have our books open to 128 and 129, and if you have something to write with, like that spiral and a pen, we're going to go ahead and just write down the assignments first.
Did you
I'm having you guys sign in, because I don't necessarily know you, so it would be easier.
So we're reading Paul Simon?
No, if you have your spiral, you can open that and grab a pen. Okay, I'll wait. Also, start reading chapter 8. And please start on your annotated bibliographies. You have the entire weekend. They're due on Wednesday 11th. And if you have any questions, she can answer them. Also, I just want to note one other thing. If you guys get a chance, as far as poetry, Billy Collins, our poet laureate, will be at Texas Tech Friday, April 20th. So if you get a chance, please go and see him. I don't know if he'll give extra credit, but I'll suggest it to it for sure. So. Did you get it written down? Okay. Chapter 7. Please reread that before Friday, because she will be going back over the 2 poems. And please start reading chapter 8. And your annotated bibliography is due on Wednesday the 11th. Oh, and one more assignment. It's my assignment for you guys, for her. And my assignment is write a poem about music. What is it about music that moves you? What is your influence? How are you influenced? And that's due Friday. And you can perform it from your chair or standing up at the podium. However you feel comfortable performing your work. But I strongly, strongly suggest to not plagiarize while you're writing. If there's something that you have reference to, put a little footnote at the bottom and explain it before you read it. That way it won't come off as a plagiarized work. Okay, does anybody have lyrics with them? Anyone want to read some of their lyrics? No? Does anyone have the lyric sheet with them and I'll read it?
I mean, I know you'll have it, yes.
Do what?
Yeah.
It happens, don't worry about it. It happens. Nervousness is laughter. It's okay.
You can do it. I know.
Okay, okay. Alright. You want to sign? You need one, right? Okay, here's the sign-in sheet. There you go. Okay. Now, okay, who is the artist?
Emma Rose is the artist.
Emma Rosa? Okay, alright. I toast the future kids. Piece it all together now, because I sell myself short every time. Oh, how you became my life. You took me in before I could back out. Well, I still have faith. It will start again. Oh, I still have faith. Well, I'm about to spend my cold life cutting corners, placing blame. Any moment this could catch fire, erasing all the stains. So here's to starting over. We could be the same. We'll change it all together. The future's mine to claim. Claim, mine to claim. You can't get out. Fear couldn't place its hands on us, my dear. My pride is dropped because I couldn't sell short myself this time. String it along, say you'll love me either way. Well, I'm about to spend my cold life, cutting corners, placing blame. Any moment this could catch fire, erasing all the stains. So here's to starting over. We could be the same. We'll change it all together. The future's mine to claim. Seeing past, it's about time I ask for more. Watching my life at the distance we have come. Well, I've lived. Well, I've learned. But I always seem to give up on myself. Self, 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 self. String it along. Say you'll love me either way. Say you'll love me anyway. While I'm alone, say you'll love me either way. Mine to claim? Claim. Well, I'm about to spend my cold life cutting corners, placing blame. Any moment this could catch fire, erasing all the stains. So here's to starting over. We could be the same. We'll change it all together. The future's mine to claim. Okay. What now?
Don't make me get it.
I'll come give it to you. You just walked in. I'll go ahead and give you the assignment. And one thing I did not one thing I didn't do was introduce myself, and my apologies. My name is Anna Lovering. I do like to write. I was born in Houston. A short bio. And then we moved here to Lubbock. And so I'm open to anything, to understanding what you guys have to say about writing or anything like that in literature. I don't know if you guys like it, don't like it, I mean, but I do. And so, on to the assignments. If you have a piece of paper, if you want to write this down, and also open your book to 128 and 129, please. Did anybody, okay, with what I just read, do you notice any particular rhythm emerging? Like, or that emerged?
It's just like a song.
It's just like a song. What does that mean? It's just like a song. No.
I said sonnet.
A sonnet?
Yeah, and then like, I don't know the rhythm. Like
The rhythm? Okay, that's good. Keep going.
A, B type deal. We talked about it on Monday.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Does it influence you?
What do you mean?
Like the words themselves.
Yes, the words themselves. Do they stand on their own for you? Like if you were to, the purpose of this assignment is to see if the words stand on their own, structured or unstructured, rhyming or not rhyming, telling a story, not telling a story. What do you see emerge from those lyrics? Do you see personification, alliteration, onomatopoeia, scansion, meter? And if so, what type of meter? Or would it just sound better as a song? Just out of curiosity.
It seems very flowing, so it could be a pentameter, I guess, like a kind of pentameter. Just the verses don't seem long at all, so it seems to flow well. It could be a song. The style which it's written is very plain language, and so it's easy to understand. So that's always a good thing, I think.
So do you feel that it being plain language, that it speaks well?
I would think so, just because, just for instance, like we understand Shakespeare and things like that, but it's like the assignment that she had given us, Moss wrote Shakespeare, rewrote it in a different way to where kids, when I was looking up the poem on the internet, just to make sure that it was the right thing, like there were teenage kids or just kids that were younger kids that were like, hey, this poem is pretty cool, so it's just like the plainer language speaks to them more than, shall I compare thee to a summer's day, so they can relate to it more, I guess.
Sure, good point. If you want to write down chapter 7 and read these poems before Friday, Richard Cory by E.A. Robinson and Paul Simon. Those are the two. One is a poem, one is a song. And we'll compare the two. And then she'll also compare the two with you guys on Friday. Also, please start on your annotated bibliography. It's due Wednesday, 11th. And if you have any questions, please refer them to her. I can't answer them, sorry. But I'll say this, don't plagiarize. By any means, don't ever plagiarize. It's not good news. Also checking to Billy Collins. He's our poet laureate. And I don't know if she's going to give extra credit, but I'll suggest it to her for sure. And start reading chapter 8. Okay.
You forgot your assignment.
Oh, thank you. My assignment for you to perform for her is due Friday. Write a poem. It doesn't, and this is another thing I forgot to tell you guys. It can be any style. It can be a haiku, 575. It can be free verse. But I suggest putting meter, putting the rhythms, the rhyme, things of that in there. If you find personification about me, and there is, there's tons of personification, metaphors, imagery, just throwing those out there. Any other lyrics?
Not a lyric, I just had a question. You said Billy Collins, right?
Mm-hmm. April the 20th. And I'm pretty sure, I know there's a poster, actually, in our grocery store, Market Street. So it's like a huge...
Do you know where it is?
It should be at the Texas Tech... This is the one time I'll say, use the internet. I'm not a big fan of... I am a big fan of technology, but I see it also as a stimulus package in today's society. Because so many people need it to communicate with other people. So, and sometimes you really don't. It's real simple. To find a friend or meet a friend or meet people, and in some ways it can be hard for some individuals, but it shouldn't be. So, any other lyrics that you guys have? If you don't want to read them, I can read them, and we can discuss it. But I'd like for you guys to read them, so you can pick up on the scansion, the meter, the rhyme. Go ahead.
GTL Theater, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, it's like, okay. This is Part of Me by Katy Perry, and days like this, I want to drive away, pack my bags and watch your shadow fade. You chewed me up and spit me out, like I was poison in your mouth. You took my light, you drained me down, but that was then and this is now. Now look at me. This is the part of me that you're never gonna ever take away from me. No, this is the part of me that you're never gonna ever take away from me. No, throw your sticks and your stones, throw your bombs and your blows, but you're not gonna break my soul. This is the part of me that you're never gonna ever take away from me. No. I just want to throw my phone away, find out who is really there for me. You ripped me off, your love was cheap, was always tearing at the seams. I fell deep, you let me down. But that was then and this is now. Now look at me. Now look at me, I'm sparkling, a firework, a dancing flame. You won't ever put me out again, I'm glowing. Oh, whoa, so you can keep the diamond ring. I never liked them anyway. In fact, you can keep everything. Yeah, except for me. This is the part of me. No, away from me. No, this is the part of me. Me. No, throw your sticks and your stones, throw your bombs and your blows, but you're not gonna break my soul. This is the part of me that you're never gonna ever take away from me. No.
Okay. What do you hear? What emerges from that?
I hear like a fight for like she just got dumped and she's fighting for something.
Okay. What from the poetry? For example, I hear the internal rhythms in rhyme, and there's sight rhymes in there. That's what I hear. I also hear the sadness. But besides that, when you've read that, do you hear the rhyming schemes?
Yeah. Like every other word, like away, fade.
The metaphors?
Yeah.
And there's irony in there. Like, if you guys, what pulls you in, comedy pulls everybody in, right? Well, in song, there's tons of irony and comedy. It's just in there. Sometimes you just start laughing because you hear it. You're like, I just said that, you know? So, when you write things or words or use them, you tend to look over them, but they're there regardless, in context, out of context, however you place them. Are you guys influenced from these musicians, like from the music, and just the music itself? Anybody?
Yeah, it's kind of helps me. I always felt like brings emotion out, some kind of emotion out of you listen to a song, feels like you like it.
So emotion is what plays for you, that pulls you in. Anyone else?
I think if you can relate to it, like I just got dumped or something, I don't like that song anymore.
I think like how you feel at the time really affects the music that you listen to at that time.
So that'll draw you in a little bit better.
Depending on how you're feeling will depend on how your music choice is at that time.
Anyone else? Anybody? Any other lyrics? You guys did do this assignment, right?
Alright, mine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mine's How You Live by Queen of Grace. Wake up to the sunlight with your windows open. Don't hold in your anger or leave things unspoken. Wear your red dress, use your good dishes, make a big mess and make lots of wishes. and have what you want, but want what you have, and don't spend your life looking back. Turn up the music, turn it up loud, take a few chances, let it all out, because you won't regret it. Looking back from where you have been, because it's not who you knew, and it's not what you did, it's how you lived. So go to the ball games, and go to the ballots, and go see your folks more than just on the holidays. Kiss all your children, dance with your wife, tell your husband you love him every night. Don't run from the truth, because you can't get away. Oh no, just face it and you'll be okay. Turn up the music, turn it up loud, take a few chances and let it all out, because you won't regret it. Looking back from where you have been, because it's not who you knew and it's not what you did, it's how you lived. But wherever you are and wherever you've been, now is the time to begin. So give to the needy and pray for the grieving, even when you don't think that you can. Because all that you do is bound to come back to you, so think of your fellow men. And make peace with God and make peace with yourself, oh yeah, because in the end there's nobody else. Turn up the music, turn it up loud, take a few chances and let it all out, because you won't regret it. Looking back from where you have been, because it's not who you knew and it's not what you did, it's how you lived. Because it's not who you knew and it's not what you did, it's how you lived.
Okay. Needy and grieving in those lines. It's great rhyme scheme. So, it's really good. Anything else that anyone can pull from that?
Yeah, first one I started reading it was when I was in elementary school. It sounded like one of those, like a book at first, like a child's book.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the way the rhymes came weird. And I just remember when we were kids and they put a little audio tape on of the reader reading it, it sounded just like that.
Just like that, without the beeps?
Yeah.
True. Okay. I'll go ahead and I'll start with Edwin Arlington Robinson, Richard Cory, is the title. Whenever Richard Cory went downtown, we people on the pavement looked at him. He was a gentleman from sole to crown, clean-favored and imperially slim, and he was always quietly arrayed. But he was always human when he talked. But still he fluttered pulses when he said, "Good morning." And he glittered when he walked. And he was rich, yes, richer than a king, and admirably schooled in every grace. In fine, we thought that he was everything, to make us wish that we were in his place. So on we worked, and waited for the light, and went without the meat, and cursed the bread. And Richard Cory, one calm summer night, went home and put a bullet through his head. Now I'll read for you Richard Cory from Paul Simon. And he does apologize to E.A. Robinson. They say that Richard Cory owns one half of this whole town, with political connections to spread his wealth around. Born into society, a banker's only child, he had everything a man could want: power, grace, and style. Refrain. But I work in his factory, and I curse the life I'm living. And I curse my poverty, and I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be Richard Cory. The papers print his picture almost everywhere he goes. Richard Cory at the opera, Richard Cory at the show. And the rumor of his parties and the orgies on his yacht, oh, he surely must be happy with everything he's got. He freely gave to charity, he had the common touch, and they were grateful for his patronage, and they thanked him very much. So my mind was filled with wonder when the evening headlines read, "Richard Cory went home last night and put a bullet through his head."
I like that one better.
You like that one better? Anyone else?
I like it better.
You like it better? Why? Why do you guys like it better than the first one?
I like the first one.
You like the first one? Why is that?
I was more shocked when I got to the end versus this one. Then I guess it's because I heard it.
If you scanned it?
The second one seems to give more detail about the guy. Like the first one, we don't know he's like a lone child with his banker, so things like that. Kind of works up to where it came out at the end. Like you have this guy who's wishing to have this guy's life, and then it's at the end like, oh, never mind, because he's dead. So it's like, I guess it's going from the perspective of money and everything. Like money doesn't buy happiness. So I like the second one more.
I think I like the first one because it leaves things up to imagination a lot more. And it's not just one person's perspective. It's like the entire town admires him. You can feel that. And they're all shocked.
Good point. Okay, so if one is a poem, then, and the other is a song, which of the two themes, and they're about the same in certain aspects, if they are different, could they propose or lend itself for your ears and your minds as to which one would be better? Like, would you think, well, the song is better because I can hear the chords, the chorus, the refrain, or if I took away the chords, the chorus, the refrain, and let it stand on its own, could it stand up to just being written on paper? Or would you believe that it has to have music behind it? No? Why's that?
I don't think it has to. I think you can hear it as a song or you can read it as a poem. Either way, you're still getting the same message.
I don't necessarily agree with that because I think a lot of songs, when you put them to music, it brings something different because you have the music in the background and the music influences you. Like a lot of songs, if I was to just read the lyrics, I would hate them. But then they put them to music, and because of the music, I like the song. So I think it would come across it. I think a lot of songs would come across different if you took away the music.
True. What do you think about the opening? I'm sorry, go ahead. Okay. I think of the opening lyrics to Bob Dylan's Positively 4th Street. You have a lot of nerve. Call yourself my friend. And I think about that, and I'm like, that would be just an attention grabber. In a novel, in a poem, first opening lines, it can stand on its own. And with or without music. But I do understand what you're saying. Out of the two, let me ask you guys this. Which one do you think would, I guess, if you had to recite it, which one would you favor more or less?
I would favor the poem.
Poem? Why's that?
Because the readers, the listeners that would hear me recite it would be left to think about more about why he did what he did versus, I don't know, the song gives more into his life and you kind of see why he did it, whereas the poem makes you think. So I would prefer the poem because I prefer to be able to think about why it happened or why a person did what he did.
And I noticed that with the lyrics, there's something. Have any of you heard of Langston Hughes? Yeah. Okay. Well, no, I just asked because some people have or haven't. And Gwendolyn Brooks. We Real Cool. Anyone ever heard of that? If you have a chance, read it. It's excellent. Langston Hughes created a rhythm with jazz that, by far, we still hear in lyrics. I heard it in your lyrics, I heard it in yours, I read it in yours, and it's when you have a word like, so the story goes along the line, I hear the rhythms hanging from the vines. In my garden, I walk upon the path, I pick the notes as I go, and leave the rest, not so empty or shallow. And those are just examples, that's just something that's just free verse, just throwing it out there. Because sometimes you can't always, you don't catch those, I would have to suggest that when you listen to music, you're letting it respond or echo thoughts that are in your emotions, and it just kind of bounces back to you, back and forth. Whereas with poems, they're very striking, like you pointed out, and that's important too. That's important for anyone, especially for writers. And I'm guessing that some of you have played instruments at one point in your life, because you pick up on the rhythms, you pick up on the rhymes, and you understand what's going to catch you, what's the pause, what's the break, what sounds a little bit better versus the opposite. See how much time we have. Okay, we're doing fine. I'll read you something from my stuff. That way it may help you guys. Where would time be without a sketch of your face? Lost as a ship from a bottle with late nights. How they would reflect mirrored images floating in front of a pier. Removed from time, life would slow, cold. No backup to hold on to. That a spell should follow you past dawn's treason letter, sent as highlights streaking a panel of scattered ashes that a maid sweeps out to sea. A fisherman to catch this image drawn out, outlined in stark graphite. A remote tint that carries its shade further in ground browns of lacquered dull sepia. So should it bring out the best in your face, a sketch of time that would only complete you. That, I mean, it has its schemes, it has its rhyming, it has its rhythms, but it also tells a story, and it can be lost, but it pulls you back in. So it's like, the way I can compare it to rhyme, meter, we're learning that if it were a song, how would it sound? What else could you take from it? How much further could you go with it? And I understand that this isn't a poetry class by any means, but it is literature, and they do work synonymously together. You know, from the start of a sentence to the ending with a period, juxtaposed with a comma in between. So it is important. Do you guys have any other lyrics or comments, or... I know it's close to time to getting out and meeting people and stuff like that. So, but it helps you, and it helps an understanding of what you're studying. So, anything? Anyone? Don't be shy.
I'll read mine.
Okay, good, good.
Mine's Concrete Angel by Martin McBride. She walks to school with a lunch she packed. Nobody knows that she folded back. Wearing the same dress she wore yesterday, she hides the bruises with the linen and lace throat. The teacher wonders, but she doesn't ask. It's hard to see the pain behind the mask. Bearing the burden of the secret storm, sometimes she wishes she was never born. Through the wind and the rain, she stands as hard as a stone. In a world that she can't rise above, but her dream gives her wings, and she flies to a place where she's loved. Concrete angel. Somebody cries in the middle of the night. The neighbors hear, but they turn out the light. A fragile soul caught in the hands of fate. When the morning comes, it will be too late. Through the wind and the rain, she stands as hard as stone. In a world that she can't rise above, but her dream gives her wings, and she flies to a place where she's loved. Concrete angel. As that he stands in a shaded place, an angel with an upturned face. A name is written on a polished rock, a broken heart that the world forgot. Through the wind and the rain, she stands as hard as stone, in a world that she can't rise above. But her dream gives her wings, and she flies to a place where she's loved. Concrete angel.
What do you hear from that?
I hear there's rhyme in it, there's a rhyme scheme to it, and I hear that. And I hear the sadness in it, and almost pity for the person it's talking about.
I like that it's concrete angel, and there's, you know, the terms that we learn when we're young about concrete and abstract. And I like how they play on that. It's a huge metaphor, and there's always so much imagery that you get from metaphors. You know? Anyone else? I don't want to do your assignment for you, so. I'm very appreciative of everyone that has shared the lyrics. If you have any on your phone, anyone?
You can look up.
If you had to do the assignment, I would just kind of let it out right now. So yes, you can look them up.
I have some.
You do? Okay.
Mine is There's a Hero by Billy Gilman. There's a flower in the smallest garden, reaching for the light. There's a candle in the darkest corner, conquering the night. There is amazing strength in a willing hand. There are victories that we've never planned. There's a hero in everyone's heart. There's a fire inside of everyone, burning clear and bright. There's a power in the faintest heartbeat that cannot be denied. Go on and trust yourself. You can ride the wind. You're going to take your dreams where they've never been. There's a hero in everybody's heart. Go on and trust yourself. You can ride the wind. You're going to take your dreams where they've never been. There's a hero in everybody's heart. There's a hero in everybody's heart.
What do you hear?
I hear a rhyme scheme. I also hear different imageries with the flower and candle. And I think those could be used as metaphors to what the person is talking about.
Good point. Anyone else? Anyone? Did anybody do the assignment?
I read mine.
All right.
The song title is called Desert Tales, Real or Not. It says, you loved it when my heart dropped, you paused, stopped and walked away, full of content that it went your way. These cuts that I've caused are never too deep to heal. Peel back the bandage, see a scar from countless careless things. You feel yourself drifting away, pulled away. Nothing feels real anymore. I'm not taking my time anymore. To show you how I feel, to show you who I am, to just walk away. We all need to find our way, cut the loss and just walk away. Now head towards the light, the darkness no place here. I don't feel real, I don't feel real. This pain is beating. I don't feel real, I don't feel real. Well, nothing feels real anymore. I'm not taking my time anymore. Now head towards the light, the darkness no place here. Well, nothing feels real anymore. I'm not taking my time anymore. To show you how I feel, to show you who I am, because it's walked away. These things that we think about at night never lose taste. Now take it close. Now take it close to find something greater. This wall has finally reached its end. It's higher ground. Let's make it stand. Do you ever think we would get this high? Pull back the sheets to find an ending that you prayed for. Now head towards the light. The darkness no place here.
What do you hear?
I hear a little bit of a rhyme scheme, but when I hear the song, I don't, it's like the artist who sings the song, his voice is distinctive, so it's hard to pay attention to the rhyme scheme, and I just hear the lyrics, and this is my favorite artist up here, so I'll probably have a different connection than anybody who's read it. And,
Connection's a good word.
And at the time when the song was recorded, he was going through like a rehabilitation, and he had just left his previous band, and that's what I hear, like him talking about him leaving the band and trying to rekindle his life back to it.
Okay. Anyone else? Yuri? Okay, and then it's you.
Oh, you want to go ahead? He looked into her blue eyes and said, "Say a prayer for me." She threw her arms around him and whispered, "God will keep us free." They could hear the riders coming. He said, This is my last fight. If they take me back to Texas, they won't take me back alive." There were 7 Spanish angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for the lovers in the valley of the gun. When the battle stopped and the smoke cleared, there was thunder from the throne. The 7 Spanish angels took another angel home. She reached down and picked up the gun. They lay smoking in his hands. She said, "Father, please forgive me. I can't make it without my man." And she knew the gun was empty, and she knew she couldn't win. But her final prayer was answered when the rifles fired again. There were 7 Spanish angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for their lovers in the valley of the gun. When the battle stopped and the smoke cleared, there was thunder from the throne, and 7 Spanish angels took another angel home. Actually, I just kind of said that again.
Willie Nelson and Ray
Ray
Charles.
Charles.
Yeah. That's a good one. What do you hear?
Awesome rhythm with like the way the words, like the how many syllables are within the words and
The internal rhyme scheme?
yeah. I don't know, it's depressing, that's for sure, but still kind of like a love story at the same time.
Sure.
Cool.
Thank you.
Drain the veins in my head. Clean out the reds in my eyes to get by security lines. Your x-ray machine. Pretend you don't know me so well. I won't tell if you lied. Cry because your dress been brought up. Drinking because you're looking so good in your Starbucks cup. I complain for the company that I keep. The windows for sleeping rearranged, and I'm nobody. Well, who's laughing now? I'm leaving your town again. And I'm over the ground like you've been spinning. And I'm up in the air. Said baby, hell yeah. Well, honey, I can see your house from here. If the plane goes down, damn. I'll remember where the love was found. If the plane goes down, down. I should be so lucky, even only 24 hours under your touch. You know I need you so much. I cannot wait to call you and tell you that I landed somewhere and hand you a square of the airport and walk you through the maze of the map that I'm gazing at, gracefully unnamed and feeling guilty for the lust and the love that you gave me. And you make me somebody. Ain't nobody knows me. Not even me can see it. Yet I bet I'm leaving your town again. That I'm over the ground that you've been spinning. And I'm up in the air. Said baby, hell yeah. If the plane goes down, down. I'll remember where the love was found. If the plane goes down. You keep me high-minded. Black seeds, will they tear me open? And supposedly you can crawl right through me. Taste these teeth, please. And undress me from these sweaters, better hurry. Because I'm keeping upward bound now. Oh, maybe I'll build my house on your clouds. Here I'm tumbling for you, stumbling through the work that I have to do. Don't mean to harm you. But I'm leaving your town again. And I'm over the ground that you've been spinning. But I'm up in the air. Said baby, hell yeah. Oh, honey, I can see your house from here. If the plane goes down, down. I'll remember where the love was found. If the plane goes down.
Okay. And the artist was Dream, is that right? Or that's a song?
No, it's the first word. The song's name is Plain.
Plain.
Jason Ross.
Rhymes with Dream, yeah. What do you hear?
I hear a lot of metaphors, a lot of imagery. Of course, a rhyme scheme. I hear guilt. A lot of
Guilt.
But it's mixed with love and hope. So, yeah.
I hear a lot of irony. So the guilt, yeah, that's there. Thank you. Anyone else? Any other comments? Okay, I'm going to read you something, and this was a collective of 4 people, one being myself, the other Daniel Moss, the other Rod Van, and Will Hooper. And this is going to see if you can pick out the lyrics versus the poem versus the rhythms. Eduardo played her theme. You know the rhythms so well, speak them rhythmically. As far away and lost, you shouldn't feel that I'm without you. Speak them, throw, the crash and thud of pounding occasional bass, in constant ride like a fistful of quarters with dibs on the childhood rides outside the worlds our moms once walked through. Through the funny mirrors of head-first shattered strings of drooling Xmas lightning, whispering individual pine needles, curling straight through elfin eardrums, spinning eye-socket orbits beyond Milky Way blindness. The jazz notes are juicy notes, nipping on the tip my tongue and drenching a hum over eardrums, rolling, ringing, and mingling in scented spring melodies, somersaulting to summer, and softening songs, still sleeping. The young poet preceded me, nauseating love notes of naivety, tripping over each other on the way to the toilet, vomiting a drunken gush, gets old as you get older. I want to say, but I don't, 'cause why be a curmudgeon? Why will the bitter old guy bludgeon? Sure, it's fun to send him to the dungeon, but tonight, the curmudgeon will dance, cuss and vomit a drunken gush alone. I'm in the dance of circumstance, serrated by the company I keep in spite of virtual woe. I will keep what I see in the weariness of my ballad. I stay inside myself and see the end growing to a place so near, yet so far. When the last piano chord is strewn into the bliss of time, I forgive all I forgot to forget and race into the line. So here I sit in musty haze and beat the line on down. Circumstance? No! It's just the time to dance, dance into my frown. And Eduardo played her theme, his lost ghost of a dream, that dawn left wrapped up, that tissue letter doused off upon a stream, in this out-of-place place. I'm sitting here as my eyes are only ever missing your face, trying to weave your lyric as it holds me, ties me up, and lets me stand with you in one set blue place. You want to hear the lyric in there? It started, I'm in the dance of circumstance, serrated by the company. I keep in spite of virtual woe. I will keep what I see in the weariness of my ballad. I stay inside myself and see the end growing to a place so near, yet so far. When the last piano chord is strewn into the bliss of time, I forgive all I forgot to forget and race into the line. Time and rhyme. And line. They both rhyme and they pull you in. And then it goes from there. Anything else that you guys might have questions over or about the assignment to write for Bronya on Friday?
Just the code. Any specific line?
Just please don't plagiarize. That's all I ask.
So it can't be. I mean, it doesn't have to be good.
You know what? It's funny that you say that. It doesn't have to be good. No, it doesn't. But yet, it can be, you know, even a haiku, 575. You know, and those, the start of a haiku, very simply put, the cry of a heron. That's 5, right there. You know, so if you think about that, and you can even. A lot of times poems, they start, if they're structured in a certain meter or rhythm, or in an AA or AB style, they can start that way as a haiku, but it formulates itself into a poem. It's what you want to do with it. You know, what is it about music? Is it just, well, I like the way that person dresses, cool. I mean, you know, seriously, I really enjoy jazz, and I've read poetry with jazz playing behind me, and that probably, it's a lot different than writing a song lyric, because it's supposed to flow, and if it doesn't, and if you catch yourself up, well, you can't beat yourself up, you just keep reading. There's a performance to poetry and to reading, and it's an art in both situations, and you utilize it the way that it is utilized, but I don't think that it's lost in literature by any means. And if you guys want to see some more performance pieces, there's also there's a group of poets I perform with, and they're called the Speakeasy Poets, and I'll let Bronya know the next time we perform, so you guys can come out and see the difference. If you're good at memorization, you know, where it could just come to you, freestyle. If that's easiest for you, by all means. It's still song. You're just not singing it unless you want to sing it with some music. So whatever makes you feel comfortable, and I do have a YouTube channel if you can't make it out. It's AL Power Chord 5, and you can look at the speakeasy. There's music on there too, but you can see the difference of performance, reading, and reading and performance. It ties it all together, and it's very, very interesting. Trying to think. And also tonight, I read poetry almost every Wednesday night at Crossroads, and sometimes I'll have jazz playing behind me. It starts at 8, so if you have time to come out, I'll bring that up to Ronnie and see if you guys get some extra credit or something like that. So, otherwise than that, sorry for keeping you. Now you guys gotta go.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's that?